The following is a presentation of the Marion Patriots Athletics Network.
And welcome to this week's edition of the Patcast. Sitting down first with head girls coach Shunda Johnson. Coach, two consecutive wins, one over Greene County Tech, one over Paragould. We'll start with the win at Greene County Tech. A little bit of revenge, and compared to that first game against the Lady Eagles, I'd say you guys more than made up for it.
I'm excited. I was glad about that, mainly because, like you said, we had lost them in a non-conference by 3, and it just was one of those games that you were like, we should not have lost. So with them coming out and being, I'm going to use the word extra focused, because we're looking for them to be focused every game, but they were extra focused, and they came out, they jumped on it early, and they did not back down. So I was glad of that. So that was a very good win for us, much needed.
What was the biggest change in the non-conference meeting versus that first meeting in conference?
A better job of pressing. We did a better job pressing and actually kind of disrupting their just ball handling. And we had girls who I consider ball hungry. They were actually going and trying to pursue the ball, and they were actually trying to blitz. What we call blitzing is just trapping without fouling. So, and another thing is we got steals and we got a chance to get some runouts.
Greene County Tech and Paragould, it seemed like your team had the size advantage in both. How do you think your girls did with that advantage? And what are some things that you think you can improve on with that?
I think with the size advantage, Jayla Henderson and Kale and sometimes Joyce down the post, I think they did a pretty good job because they were able to just convert right around the basket. You know, that's high percentage shots. I think that they were looking to score. I think they were demanding the ball from our guards, which is a plus for them. And with that being the case, you know, they got them feeling pretty good about themselves, and the guards looking for them, and it just, you know, opened up the inside game for us. And I just think that it was a good thing, good look for us.
Just thought about something with the Greene County Tech game. Lady Patriots scoring 21 points in that first quarter. 14 of those were off turnovers. How huge is that as a coach that your team can capitalize off those extra possessions?
That's a major plus. I just wish we'd be more consistent with that. You know, if that could become a part of our dynamics of our team, I think that we'll be able to be extra competitive, you know, throughout the season. We want to play fast. You know, I was talking about this a little bit last night. You know, get out and run, get some deflections, get some steals, and just have fun, filling lanes. Scoring layups, they could be fun. You know, so if that's going to be our style or our identity, do it consistently. That's all we ask.
And your defense against Paragould, except for that fourth quarter,
yes.
The first 3 quarters, your team gave up single-digit points. What did you like in the first 3 quarters, and then what are you going to talk to your girls about in that fourth quarter?
The rotation. I mean, no, and they actually knew exactly who the shooters were for 3 periods, 3 quarters or whatever. And we just don't understand. We're going to come to talk with them about it today. How can you lose the quote-unquote shooter even though she didn't score, like we know she's capable of scoring in the first 3 quarters? How do you still lose her? And then once she scores against you, how do you let her score again? So we're going to talk about that and how to fix that, where everybody needs to be aware. Even if they do screen, the person who's getting screened to be aware that she's screening for a shooter. What do you need to do? What adjustments do you need to make? We talked about hard hedge. We talked about, actual switching. And we talked about not going under the screen. And we did all of that well in first, second, third quarters. And fourth quarter, we just kind of relaxed.
Friday night at Jonesboro against the Golden Hurricane.
Yes.
What's the best way to describe this Lady Hurricane team?
I hadn't completely watched film, just a half. There's Jonesboro. You know, they're always going to be sound. They're always going to have athletes, and they're always going to have some scores. This year they have two sophomores that started. One's a point guard. I saw her play a little bit over summertime. She played a little bit toward the end of the season last year, moved up. Has a post player about 6'2". You know, not very aggressive down low, but she's an intimidator on the defensive end. She blocks shots. So we're going to talk about when they get down low to, you know, shot fake, you know, or take an extra dribble, get around her. With the point guard, we want to try to eliminate her from being able to get loose on the 3-point line, because she's a scoring point guard. And we're going to just turn her and try to tire her out as much as possible, send a couple bodies at her, and see what decisions she can make. They also have a Power 5 ranking player. She signed with Tennessee, Destiny Salary, and she's going to be the one that we cannot let her get loose. Let somebody else beat us.
We've been calling her name for a couple years on our live
since
stream.
Since ninth grade.
Definitely remember the name Destiny Salary. Well, that game will be at 6 o'clock tip-off this Friday. You can catch it at MarionPatriots.com, but we highly encourage you come out to Don Riggs Hurricane Gymnasium. Not a bad trip. Always a fun trip to there. It's always an interesting night. That's the best way to put it.
I always call it hostile environment.
Well, it should be a fun one, Coach. Thanks for coming on. We'll be right back with the Patcast.
Mitchell Family Medicine provides exceptional medical care and compassionate hope to the whole family. We accept patients of all ages and are here to serve you. We take care of chronic conditions, annual physicals, acute care medical needs, and so much more. For your convenience, we have an in-house x-ray, lab, and pharmacy. Come see us at our new location at 924 Highway 77 in Marion, or find us online at mitchellfamilymedicine.com. Mitchell Family Medicine. You can depend on us for life.
Game night doesn't end when the game does. Keep the celebration going with Game Night Happy Hour at Sonic. Happy Hour is no time to be hungry, so be sure to get some cheese sticks for 99 cents, or if something sweet is how you want to celebrate, get a 99-cent mini blast. Don't forget your student ID to get your student discount. Even if you can't make it to the game, just make it to the Marion Sonic, where we broadcast all the away games. Win or lose, it's about where you go after the game. Head to Sonic, where you skip the line and visit a stall to dine.
And welcome back to the Patcast, sitting down with head boys coach David Clark. Coach, on a little bit of a winning streak now. Got a good road win since we last talked at Greene County Tech. Got a win on Tuesday against the Paragould Rams. Will start against the Eagles. Seemed like there was a lot of separation at the beginning. Then that second half, Greene County Tech starts closing in, takes the lead in that third quarter. What were you telling your team in the second half?
To basically focus. We got a little bit unfocused and start losing the shooters and start losing what they were trying to do in their game plan, and it started working for them and working against us. But later on in the game, we got back focused, and once we got back focused, it was ready to go.
Seemed like Zane Butler, again, that's the name we always talk about with the Eagles. He started hitting the three, and then the defense started closing in on him, forcing other people to try and step up for it. So I thought that was a really good defensive strategy there. Overall, what did you think of your defense, especially in that fourth quarter?
Defensive, we played well. We just missed some assignments. My big thing right now is on rebounding the basketball. If we rebound the ball well and play defense, we'll be able to beat anybody. But that was the thing that was killing us early on in the season, especially when we was playing bigger and taller teams, was rebounding the basketball and being able to limit teams to one shot, and they were getting second chance points, really was hurting us. But now that we're playing down in our conference, or sort of say we're not playing against 6'8" and 6'10s that, you know, can hurt you as a team. So now we just have to focus in on rebounding and playing defense, because we can do that and we can do it well. And when we do it well, we win ball games.
There's a couple guys specifically that have been more aggressive on the boards, but I specifically want to point out B.J. Johnson. Yeah. He, since that Vegas tournament, even still with each game, it seems like he gets more aggressive on the boards. What can you say about his play lately?
It's just been it's been great for our team. We really didn't expect BJ to rebound the ball as well as he has this year. BJ is more of a shooter, and he's sacrificing for the team, the good of the team, to make us better. And if that calls for him to rebound the basketball, then he's doing that, and he's doing a very good job at it.
Paragould, after the game, still, even with the large margin of victory, that was something you were talking about, was the rebounding. But other parts of the game as well, your team shot very well. They defended pretty well. I think the first quarter you allowed 10 points, and then the rest of it was 7 points, 6 points, 5 points, just clinching down more defensively. To start a game off, still giving up 10 points, and to tighten down from there, what does that say about your team?
It shows that we're growing. However the case, we must remain solid at all times, and no matter the competition, you're playing every game to get better and every team to get better. So even if you're playing a lesser opponent, you can't go out and play a weak ball game because it's going to hurt you against the next opponent that you're going to play. So we're trying to really focus in on being on perfection on defense and offense, and really being a total team. So when we play those good teams, we'll be ready to play.
Friday night on the road at Jonesboro. Old Wes Swift, he's one of those names when you think of basketball in East Arkansas. He's one of those names at the top. You said you've been working on some stuff for this game all week without giving anything away for that. You said you were going to work on some of it against Paragould without giving too much of it away. What did you see that you liked against the Rams that you might want to do against Jonesboro?
Rebound the basketball. I mean, everything is set up to rebound the basketball and push the ball and play fast and have fun and enjoy the game, where the kids are enjoying winning and playing as much as they are just playing the game in total. So I want my guys to go out there and have fun, but I want them to be focused and more aggressive doing it instead of, we've been relaxed. I guess when we played West Memphis and a little bit against Searcy, we played half-court basketball, and it wasn't as fun for our kids. So if they're having fun and they're running up and down the floor, and as long as they're playing defense and rebound the basketball, I think they'll be enjoyable to watch, and it'll be a fun game for us.
What are some of your defensive keys against the Golden Hurricane?
Defensive keys: slow down McBride. he's a great shooter. They have three guys that can really put it up this year. So we have to slow them down. We have to cover the shooters, and we also have to rebound the basketball and give them one chance at shooting the ball.
All right, well, it should be a good one. 7:30 is about what time it should tip off, right after the girls' game at MarionPatriots.com. But just like we said in the interview with Coach Johnson, we definitely want to see you out there at Don Riggs Hurricane Gymnasium. Not a bad drive. You get to stay over in Jonesboro, plenty of places to eat after the game and things like that. So, Patriot Nation, we definitely want to see you out there. Like we said, it should be an interesting one. It always is whenever we go up there, Coach.
Yeah.
Coach David Clark, thanks for tuning into this week's edition of the Patcast.